Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of November 28th, 2011. Welcome to the site to all you new members and welcome back to all the old members. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it. So please send your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I hope to answer the ones that help the most people. No such thing as a stupid question. It's a great way to get the most for your subscription, so ask away. As you notice, I'm trying something new this week, just to change things up. I'm going to poll you guys. I'm going to have a survey, a poll in the members section after this video mail has been up for a couple days, asking you if you prefer this format or the old format. The thing about this is that I don't have to cut back and forth between me and the animation that I'm showing you. On the other hand, I can imagine that maybe a little bit higher resolution video of me acting stuff out might be more advantageous to some people. So I'm going to ask you guys, be sure to chime in. Don't be shy. You can vote it. You liked it or you didn't like it. Just giving this a shot. So there you go. I announced the winner. If you didn't see it, the winner of the referral contest was Frankie Ting. He won himself a copy of How to Cheat in Maya 2012 for referring the most people to the site during the contest. Now, don't forget, you can still refer members to the site. Just because there's no contest going on doesn't mean you don't get something really great. You get 30 days free on the site if you refer a member who signs up for either a 1-month or a 3-month subscription. You just get it. It's automatic. All they have to do is just put your username into the subscription form where it asks for the user that referred them. And if they put your username in exactly, boom, you're automatically given it and you get all that free time. Okay? They don't even have to stay signed up into the site. So if they join and they don't really like it, they cancel for 5. You still get all that free time. So convince your friends to do it. And you also get 60 days free if you get someone to sign up for a year subscription to the site. You'll also notice that some pretty cool things starting to pop up on the site, like Facebook comments are beginning to happen or beginning to be put onto the content pages. You can post a comment on each content page, and also it'll post it to your Facebook wall if you so choose to do so. As I get more and more content, I'm going to be showing the public, showing the outside world more of the content on the inside. And if you guys can comment on Facebook on the content pages, it would be really helpful, because then when people come check out the site, if I give away, a week of, like a video mail on, to my Facebook fans, then they see all these comments and it'd be fantastic. So I'm just trying to get people to be involved in the site just a little bit more. So keep your eyes peeled for all these awesome new upgrades that are happening around the site, and just tell your friends. I have a really awesome user base, and I'm super appreciative of everyone who's here. I have hardly any cancellations, and which just really tells me that I'm working hard, and if I continue to work hard and try to give you guys the best content, that you guys will stick around. If you can just tell a few friends about the site and what you've gotten out of it, and I think it would benefit the site a lot. So that's my pitch. One more time, congratulations to Frankie. Good job. I'm probably going to be holding another contest where you can win a free copy of How to Cheat in Maya 2012. I have a few more, but that'll be announced at a later date in the future. So let's get to the question for this week. This week's question. Okay, I get asked this a lot, and I've seen this a lot on different forums and blogs and whatever, and I actually do believe that weighted tangents are superior by far. The reason is that you have control on the keyframe that you want the control to be. Whereas with non-weighted tangents, you have to add keys to get a very specific shape. Okay, so let's look here. So we have a sphere, and I just have it moving all over the place. You know, it's really just flying all around. Okay, but I did this, I animated it this way just so that we'd have some keys to take a look at. So here are my my curves, and as you can see, I weighted. Let's just grab the translate Z. I weighted this keyframe, and I dragged it way up here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a buffer curve snapshot, and let's do show buffer curves. Okay. So there's my buffer curve snapshot. You can see when you select the curve, its snapshot comes up. Okay. So let's go back. All right. Now I'm going to turn off weighted tangents. So I'm going to turn this back to non-weighted tangents. And you see what it did. In order to try to give me this curve that I had before, this was obviously a choice. And Maya is kind of smart in the way it does this, but only kind of. But in order to give me the shape that I really wanted, and it's clear that I really wanted it because I made this key weighted. I grabbed this tangent handle and I moved it way up. So Maya said to itself, oh, he must really want this. It sacrificed all the other shapes in and out. You see that? Okay. So there's literally no way. It's impossible to get this shape with non-weighted tangents, okay, with this many keys. All right, so I'm going to fix my curve, okay, and then in order to get the rest of it, I have to insert a key right here, okay, as you can see. And then over here, same thing. I have to insert a curve again. Oops. You'll notice things start getting a little freaky. And it looks like I'm not even going to be able to leave this key where I want it to be. See this? So we're having to add a lot of keys in order to get something that is even like, I call this an approximation of our old curve. Okay. So if I snap back, and that's one thing, just so you know, I just hit the swap buffer curve. What's nice about it is that it remembers everything about that curve, how many keys there were, if they were weighted or not. So I just snapped back. So let me go back. So here's my non-weighted, kind of crappy version of that curve, and I swap again, and it gives me my weighted version. Okay. So it's at the very least, what it does is it gives you the opportunity to have your curves in the sparsest way possible. Satisfy the motion that you want. Truly in the sparsest way. So like with only keyframes where you want them and tangents that you've edited. All right, you don't get that with non-weighted tangents. Okay. Now some people feel that the weighted tangents are just too big of a pain in the butt to work with. And to that I say, well, so is every other tool, before you use it. So it is kind of a matter of practicing. It really is. Another place where the weighted tangents excel is when you break your tangents. Okay, so let me delete all the animation on this sphere here. Let me just delete these curves. Okay. And let's just do a really quick bouncing ball. Just drag it up here. All right. Actually, let's have it sit then. So when I translate Y, you know that you need a fast out, okay, on your bouncing ball. You know it. It has to be fast in and out, right? So if you break the tangent on a non-weighted curve, this is when it's especially frustrating because your spacing on this bouncing ball, like how are we going to turn this into a really nice parabolic arc? Well, we can set some keys on either side here and drag these up and start trying to make this, it's like we have to turn off time snap, start trying to make this parabolic. All right, so let's make a snapshot of this. So that's great and all. But rather, if we grab these two bottom ones, free the tangent weights, make these weighted first of all, and then free the tangent weights on this guy and this guy. Then all of a sudden we can, just by using, as you can see, just by using the tangent weights on these curves, sorry, on these keys, boom, we've got it. We get the exact, in fact, there's no messing around. Rather than, I mean, if we add a key right here and we start moving it and then, you know, start messing with this tangent weight, oh, this is non-weighted, it's not quite what I want. So if I move the key down, but then I move this up, well, now I'm getting this weird shape down here. Like, forget all that, man. You get, like, look how precise the control is on this. Like, you can get it like exactly what you want, like big bump or like little one, like all of this control in here. It's just beautiful. Okay? So then we get a nice bouncing ball. Okay? Now, obviously, I wanted to illustrate bouncing ball, but it sticks here on the ground at the end. It's kind of a silly example, but actually not really. So let me show you. Here's a good example. So I just deleted those keys. Okay, so set a key right there. Let's also and then go translate X and have it come to a nice stop, but let's have it linear going out. If you can tell what I'm doing by my keyframes, then I know you've been paying attention to workflow. In fact, let's keep this at, let's go to like 48 frames instead. Okay, let's make this 48. Okay, so I'm making this guy frame 8. Let me just make it so that he's right on the edge of the table at frame 8. Kind of hard to see. Okay. All right, right at the edge of the table in frame 8, and then it falls off. Okay. All right, so check this out. Using the graph editor, I can really detailed, or in a really detailed way, rather, sorry, make this ball, let's say it's a bowling ball that has no bounce, ball come to a really nice stop. Okay, boom. Boom. So if I think that it's, first of all, if I think it's moving too fast, I can reduce this amount. But if I want to come to a really nice gradual stop, all right, then all I do is free that tangent weight and drag it out to make that slow in nice and slow. Let's try that. And then kind of a rule of thumb is if the tangent is pointing at the line, at the curve, then you're basically getting linear. So This is like parabolic, this is like hyperbolic, this is the like linear, basically. So it starts basically linear, and then it goes nice, because I freed this tangent weight, nice slow stop. All right, so let's watch this. Boom. Oh, it's so nice how nice and gradual it comes in. Boom. Same thing with the rotation. Let's just set a key at the front and back with rotate Z. Okay, and let's have it rotate. So it rotate like 3 times, which would be, wait, not 720, 960. Let's do the exact same thing. He's rolling linearly, goes into a flat as it comes to a stop, like this. And now we may need to just colorize this so that you can see what's going on. Let's make it a surface shader and make the color a checkerboard. Checker. Okay, here we go. Oops, rotating the wrong way. No big deal. Just grab this and do on the value multiply equals -1. All right, and then I can just edit this tangent. There we go. See that? Now this would be a lot of keying. Unfortunately, like, you don't have this control with those non-weighted tangents. This would be a lot of keying, especially those really nice slow ins. I can't tell you what I would do with myself if I had to do a slow in like this one on this rotate Z curve if I didn't have weighted tangents. All right. Now you might also argue, well, Kenny, if you had a situation where, you know, all you had to do was like nice gradual slow ins and like adjust the spacing of things like bouncing balls, and yeah, weighted tangents would be good, but they're still too much of a pain in the butt to try to use on characters. Well, again, I would just say that all the practice that you're going to get once you start using them for things like slow ins and like to reduce, you know, that really nice, you know, ramp to a stop on things like rotation on a rolling object, that kind of stuff, all that practice is just going to make it so you're faster and faster and faster, and you'll find that eventually it's not a big deal that you're using these on a character. So to answer the question, of course everything is a workflow choice, but I really do think that there is a huge advantage to becoming really quick using weighted tangents and just rocking them out with every single piece of the animation you do. So if we just take one more look at this animation, I think you'll agree. I do think that the rotation is a little bit too much, so let's just reduce it just a little bit. Okay. Okay. But let's watch one more time. Boom. It's so good. So, yeah, so that's the you know, the scoop on the weighted tangents. I'm super happy to have answered this question. I need more questions if I'm going to answer them, so please send more my way. The address to send them to is actually I should probably point like this way now. The address is webmaster@kennyroy.com. I promise to answer all the questions that I think will help the most people. Keep kicking butt. Good luck with your animation, and as always, rock on.